jam for Caleb Martin. Oh, the view from the top of Mount Caleb is breathtaking. His humble beginnings fostered a love for sports.
They've had a ball in their hand of some sort ever since they could carry one around.
Just playing sports, just trying to figure out a way to make it better on my mom.
With his twin brother as a constant teammate.
Playing on the same team in the NBA has been something that you've been talking about since you were a kid.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
We obviously want to win up each other, but at the same time, we want each other to win.
Caleb's relentless effort has driven him forward.
He just stands for a lot of things that are right in the game of basketball.
As a head coach, I just really enjoy watching him compete.
And Heat Nation is enjoying a thrilling ride.
Martin has it. He's up. He throws it down. He rocks the house.
This is the most fun I've had playing ball in a long time.
Inside the Heat, Caleb Martin. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Inside the Heat. I'm Eric Reed. Today, you're going to get a chance to know one of the new, young, and talented players on this exciting Heat team. It's Caleb Martin, who is thriving in the Miami Heat culture. But his journey to the NBA in Miami was unique, complete with hard work and perseverance. Caleb grew up in a close-knit family and was inseparable from his twin brother, Cody. You'll hear more about that. But Caleb's story begins in the small town of Mocksville, North Carolina. Tell us what it was like for you growing up in North Carolina with your family.
Nobody knows what Mocksville is. Just small town, household, a small household. My mom and my two brothers just playing sports, just trying to figure out a way to make it better on my mom.
Most people watching this know about you and your brother Cody. Not as many folks know about your other brother Raheem. So let's start with him. Tell us about Raheem.
Raheem, he was a big influence on me and my brother. He started us off playing basketball and used to beat up on us pretty bad to the point where we were almost about to stick with baseball.
I just gave him, the ball and tried to beat up on him as much as possible, and then they took the rest.
He was more like the father figure in the home for a while, and he held it down and he made a lot of sacrifices in terms of like just looking out for us and make sure we were in good shape.
If you have a mischievous child, that basically describes Caleb. And the fact that there was two of them didn't really help. I did my best to try to keep them out of trouble, but they were good kids overall. They just were into everything.
He was into everything. So he was rambunctious, nonstop. They've had a ball in their hand of some sort ever since they could carry one around.
We've been playing basketball, baseball, and football kind of like our whole lives.
As the three-sport athletes began their freshman year at Davie County High School, the Martin twins chose to focus on basketball. And from the jump, Caleb established his identity.
He was the hardest worker, and he was the one coming early, and he was the one staying late. If I had to take one word to describe him, I would say, he's just a winner.
Sophomore and junior year were like really good. That's kind of when we started first getting onto the mat basketball-wise.
He was more the shooting guard, he'd have the ball a lot.
He was very explosive, even at a young age. He was just relentless defensively. When your best player is taking the charges and leading your team defensively and having the best work ethic and attitude, as a coach, you've pretty much, hit the home run.
After 3 years, you and Cody decided to transfer to Oak Hill Academy in Virginia. Sounds like it was a pretty good decision. You went 41-4 at Oak Hill. Talk about the decision to do it and how well it worked out.
Man, the decision wasn't easy. I was all for it. To start off, my brother was fighting me on it. He didn't want to go at all. I'm mama's boy too, but he was worse than me. He didn't want to go nowhere, and that was going to be our first time living away from home, and so that was our first time having to do like a leap of faith, try to take our game to the next level.
A lot of kids come to Oak Hill just to get prepared and make sure they're ready physically to play as freshmen in college. Caleb really could shoot the ball. He was our leading scorer that year. And we played the national championship game.
That was the best move to start off our whole basketball career.
While that was the best move, arguably the most memorable part of their basketball career up to that point was doing it together.
Those two guys, I call them Tom and Jerry. They were inseparable.
I was more of a scorer, he was more of a defender. I definitely stole that from my brother. But yeah, we're pretty similar in every aspect. We like the same things, love the same foods, pretty much some mirror image.
I remember yelling at one of them in the dressing room at halftime one night, and finally he pointed to his brother and said, "That wasn't me, coach, it was him."
They had this knack for just constantly knowing where the other one was, and it was beautiful to watch.
If there was somewhere Caleb wanted to go, Cody was there, whether he wanted to be there or not. So they were always together.
Everything we did, we always did together. Me and him was just kind of attached at the hip.
For most of your life, you and Cody have been teammates competing against others. How competitive were you with each other, and how'd you let him beat you to birth by 1 minute?
Man, I kind of probably let him do it. I'm a nice guy at the same time, so I probably let him go ahead. But nah, he's just yeah, we compete all the time. It doesn't matter what it is. So that's just part of being twins, and you obviously want to one up each other. But at the same time, it's a weird dynamic because you want each other to win at the same time. But super close, man. That was my best friend.
Welcome back to Inside the Heat. For Caleb Martin and his twin brother Cody, playing together for as long as they could was always a priority. So when it came time to choose the college they would attend, they ultimately chose the program that wanted them both. And that decision, well, it kept them in their home state for a little while longer as they traveled to Raleigh and joined the North Carolina State Wolfpack.
And in comes Caleb Martin. You got both Martins in there, separated by a minute at birth.
So after a 41-4 season at Oak Hill, the recruiters must have been knocking on the Martin door, try to get 2 out of 1. Talk about the recruiting process and what led you guys to your decision to attend North Carolina State.
We told everybody from the jump that we were a package deal, that anywhere we were going together. We weren't splitting up. They had to make sure there had been 2 scholarships.
Those two being together basically every minute of every day since they were born, it's hard to think of making a decision without the other. It's almost like one half, like they're just one whole person.
NC State, they had the spots open for us. It was close to home. Get to play on TV. Mom gets to come to the game, so it was like the perfect situation for us.
Tell us about how your games grew and how you guys both found those first 2 seasons there.
We learned a lot, man. It was especially obviously from a basketball standpoint, but I think we learned a lot about what we wanted to get out of it. You know what I mean? I don't even think that the NBA or the next level was even a thought to us.
Goes to his twin brother and he hits. That's Caleb Martin with the basket.
I think also looking back, after our sophomore year, we kind of got caught up into the material things of that school, a lot of notoriety. But the basketball situation, I wasn't getting better.
Where we're at just wasn't fitting us at that time, and we needed to change in to help, take our game and our career to another level.
You could tell it just wasn't the right spot for us. So after 2 seasons, that's when we decided that we needed to try to find another spot.
And find another spot. Both the Martin brothers did. You guys head west to Nevada, where you hooked up with Eric Musselman. How did that whole thing happen?
That was crazy because when they had started calling, it was very low budget at the time. There wasn't a lot of fans. It wasn't even a basketball school yet. It was a lot of downgrade, so to speak, coming from NC State. But like everything about the program and the coaches was everything that we were looking for. And what stuck out for me was I could tell they did their research on my brother.
Everybody in the country was recruiting Caleb, and we knew that. And we also knew Caleb and his mom, Jenny, they wanted to make sure that Cody was actually in the right spot.
As a family, we discussed that big decision, and we all just came to the conclusion that was probably best for both of them at that time was to make that move.
Obviously, it worked out for you and Cody. You averaged 19 a game as a senior at Nevada. Talk about the impact that Coach Musselman had on you.
You could just tell he was trying to prep you for the next level. He wasn't like a lot of other coaches where they were like, oh, I want you to stay here all 4 years or whatever. And, he was like, I want you to get there, but I also want you to get there when you're ready. He had a plan.
Oh, what a block by Caleb!
Just being around some guys with some NBA experience, helping them grow their game. So, with Coach Muss and Gus Argent and those guys, the big emphasis was, they're good at what they do, but they need to expand their game and they need to put some weight on and be more physically strong and things like that.
I thought that Caleb, with his athleticism, his length, his anticipation, he went from being the MVP of the league as a junior to then being one of the better defenders in the nation, to go along with his scoring and obviously the great energy that he plays with every night.
Cody to the left side, Caleb puts it in drive from the wing, slashes to the rim, fouled and count it.
The recruiting process wanted both of them to come to Nevada very, very bad. We thought that, Caleb and Cody could completely change the complexion of who Nevada was, and they both did that.
When did the NBA dream begin for you, and when did it really start to get real for you?
At the beginning of that year, I didn't even think about the NBA. I just wanted me and my brother just wanted to play well, so we weren't embarrassed from changing schools and going to a smaller conference. And so when we got there, we were just playing. And I don't think it got real until I think midway through the season, where you started seeing your name on draft boards and people were talking a little bit, and so that just ended up happening probably midway towards the end of it, when we knew we were going to go to the tournament, and then we made that Sweet 16 run, and it really set in after we won our first or second game in the tournament.
Welcome back to Inside the Heat. After transferring to the University of Nevada and finding much success there, the Martin twins both entered the 2019 NBA draft. Now, the possibility of being separated for the very first time in their basketball careers did become a reality that led them right into draft night. But as fate would have it, there was still one more stop for the brothers Martin to play together. Caleb Martin, take us back to the night of the 2019 NBA draft. You and your brother probably in the same room.
Yeah.
He gets picked in the second round by Charlotte, and you go undrafted.
I've been preparing myself not to get drafted for a while. I'm sitting there, the draft's going by, and then my brother gets picked. And to me, I'm good off the night. Once I heard my brother's name get called, I felt like I got drafted.
That enthusiasm only grew as Caleb later joined his brother and signed a two-way deal with the Charlotte Hornets.
Caleb. Andres! Oh!
Doing my research, going down the line, just looking at the rosters and looking at people that are on there and having my best chance for opportunity. It looked like Charlotte, they were a young team, so they were just looking for new guys to come in and make an impact.
Full length pass. And it'll count if it goes. Hey! Caleb Martin! To the rim. Caleb Martin, his first NBA bucket. Two Martins on this year's team. Caleb undrafted. Cody drafted in the second round.
Playing on the same team in the NBA has been something that you've been talking about since you were a kid. For it to actually come true is kind of unreal. It was just us taking advantage of this, having this time together, obviously. But at the end of the day, that we knew it was business, and we were, working to take our games to another level.
Nice! Cody to Caleb! Wonder Twin powers activated!
For both of them to play close to home in the NBA was a dream come true. We would still be able to go see them and be a part of everything that they were doing.
PJ the block! Here comes Martin! Continuation! Yes! Extra possession for the Hornets. How about you cash it in? Yes! Caleb Martin! How do you do? Deserved all three of those.
How do you look back at those two seasons with Charlotte?
I'm grateful, man. They gave me my first opportunity. Not only that, but they allowed me to play with my brother my first 2 years in the league, and I got to play in my home state. That was like a movie for us, you know what I mean? For him to get drafted there and for me to sign there and get to spend our first 2 years there, made our transition pretty smooth.
After 2 years, Caleb's time in Charlotte came to an end when the Hornets waived him in August of 2021.
He just told me, obviously, it's a tough decision. This is what we got to do, which I really appreciated. because a lot of guys don't figure out like that. I took like a full day to just kind of decompress and just kind of soak it all in. I went and bought a lifetime membership down the street, and I worked out every day.
He embraces every challenge, every opportunity, and makes the best of every situation.
He just continued to work. You know, he knew that this wasn't the end of the road, so he just kept working hard.
Yeah, man, I remember like I would be running on the treadmill for like 20 minutes straight, tearing up, and I was in the gym every day, like nonstop.
Circumstances force you into parting ways as teammates with your brother, but there was a rapper by the name of J. Cole who had a hand in shaping Caleb Martin's future and next decision.
I had really got to know him a little bit probably around my sophomore year of college when I was at NC State, and we'd always kept that relationship. We'd play pickup and we'd be working out and he'd be there every day. He was just like, dang, why is it, you know what I mean, what's the situation? Like, what's going on? Like, he wanted to know what's going on. And I'm like, man, I'm just waiting, you know. He just thought it was like crazy, just like how it wasn't on a team or it wasn't signed yet. Come to find out, you know, he just went this, you know, in this context with people he knew, and I think it was Quran.
He was reaching out for quite some time, just telling me about some of the talented guys that he knew of, one of them being Caleb Martin. And he was like, man, if you give this guy a shot, I'm telling you, he's not going to let you down.
He knew like once I got in front of somebody, it would change somebody's mind. And so then I come up here and I work out, and I played pretty well.
We was able to bring him to the table, and eventually it equated to an opportunity, and he took full advantage of it.
Welcome back to Inside the Heat. One phone call may have put Caleb in play for the Miami Heat, but it was really his grit, toughness, and athleticism that landed him that two-way contract with the team right before the start of this season. Now it's easy to see that Caleb has been a perfect fit for the Heat culture, but Caleb's about to tell us his first impressions of the Heat organization. Tell us about the first time you met with Pat Riley, the first time you sat down with Eric Spoelstra, and the impressions they both made on you.
I think I met both of them at my first workout. They were sitting over there at that table. And I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like, obviously I seen them on TV, I hear about Pat. That just showed me right away that they were super involved and hands-on on like what's going on in their gym and with their players. So like right away, I like that.
As a head coach, I just really enjoy watching him work every day and watching his approach and watching him compete.
I'm a twin too, so you know, us twins got to stick together.
Caleb would need just that, as this would be the first time in his life that he wasn't competing on the same team as his twin brother.
That was a tough thing for them both to have to deal with, but I think it's been a blessing in disguise.
For them to not be together and let people see them for like who they actually are as individuals has been great.
Dribble drive on Bam with nowhere to go. Deflection by Caleb. Here he comes.
I wanted him to do his own thing and for me to finally get to do my own thing, to show people that we can play without each other. Because that was everybody's biggest question. People thought that once we split, like we were just going to forget how to play basketball.
We hype each other up, just, you know, always being there for each other, supporting each other, but easily being each other's biggest fans.
So you're on a two-way contract. The first time everybody really noticed you. You and Gabe Vincent at the top of that 2-3 zone wreaking havoc on the defensive end. That's how it started for you.
Oh, rejected by Martin. The Heat are playing some nasty defense out there.
I think that's just like a connection that obviously we have along with Max and everybody really throughout the whole entire team. Is like just kind of like the underdog type connection.
Gabe Vincent in the paint. Behind the back pass to Martin. Slips back to the right corner for a three. Splash!
You go down the line, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Caleb Martin. Those guys are a huge reason that this team is sitting in first place in the East right now.
Caleb is one of 8 undrafted players on the roster, with his role varying on a nightly basis. When he is on the floor, he continues to impress, defying gravity along the way.
Martin! What a jam for Caleb Martin! Oh, the view from the top of Mount Caleb is breathtaking. Oh, and he did it on the 7-footer JaVale McGee.
You have used your athleticism so equally well on both offense and defense this year. Talk about this beautiful season that you're having, this breakout year for Caleb Martin in a Heat uniform.
This is the most fun I've had playing ball in a long time, just getting to play and just play comfortably. And not really having to think, man, I think that's just the biggest part this year is like I'm not thinking a whole lot. I'm just playing.
Caleb Martin with a sensational block. The crowd fired up. Oh, a steal by Martin. Nobody going to catch him. Caleb Martin with another game-changing play.
He just wants to make an impact on the game, and he does every single time.
Caleb's been playing out of his mind for us on both ends of the floor.
The guys love playing with him. He inspires everybody with his crazy efforts. He's our kind of guy.
Martin has it. He's up. He throws it down. He rocks the house. Caleb Martin. The contract says two-way. I say no way.
His confidence is growing. You understand he's on a two-way, so he's playing for a job. He's playing for a contract. He's playing to prove that he belongs.
And indeed, his hard work paid off as Caleb was signed to a standard NBA contract in February 2022.
All of us have had hands on his development, and he's just done a remarkable job.
He loves the coaching staff. He loves the players. The fans are amazing, and it's really worked out well for him, and I'm just so proud of him.
He just stands for a lot of things I think that are right in the game of basketball. And more importantly, he takes that with him off the court.
They found a guy that people didn't know how good he could be, and I think the future's only going to get brighter and brighter for Caleb.
What's it like to be a key reserve on a team with this many great veterans that has legitimate championship aspirations?
I'm super grateful for the opportunity and just to be able to show people that I can contribute and that I can be a piece that can be used. And we got such a variety on our team of experience and talent. It's hard for you not to learn. All you gotta do is just listen and watch. This is the perfect situation for me.
Caleb Martin is a winner and an emerging talent who has not shied away from putting in the work that's necessary for success. And now the Heat and Heat Nation is reaping the benefits of that hard work every time he plays. And Caleb uses his athletic ability equally well on both ends of the court and has brought that energy and excitement to his team every night. And with the continued support of his family and his teammates, the future looks bright indeed for Caleb Martin. And we'll be here to watch and enjoy it as it all unfolds. And thank you for enjoying this edition of Inside the Heat. I'm Eric Reed.